What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyt and I'm back with some more Age Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Skady. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Player. This is game number 2 of this best of 5 here for the Vubli Champions League season number 2. First game went to a quick win for Skady, and now Skady going to be changing things into the Oranos. Doesn't feel too confident taking on players Zeus in this matchup here. I do see the villager already making his way over this side. Maybe just looking for something. Oop, the caribou are here, so he actually had it right. Though had he walked anywhere else, he may have missed stuff. But maybe he's spotted. Well, there has to be ball somewhere. There's ball here. Both players sort of missing their ball. We see caribou over here, and the boar over here for player. Actually, very, very bad map here for player at the start. Normally, these bad maps favor Oranos pretty heavily. Well, we'll see how this is going to go for Skady. It looks like he's already thrown down his economic guild, so he has to go for a 430 at the very earliest. Or yeah, exactly, the very earliest. You can get a 4-minute hunting dogs advance, but you have to have perfect hunt for it, and this is not perfect hunt. So a little bit of an interesting ghost lake spawn here. It looks like it's a 2 medium gold mine, 3 large gold mine ghost lake. So you do have to be prepared for that. The minimum amount of gold you can get on this map is very, very low. You can get a medium gold mine and 2 large gold mines. So if you ever see that map, you do have to get that trade going super early and play for the later stages of the game. But obviously this one, not the case. And the problem here for player is going to be that Skady, the Oranos, the aggressor, is going to be able to put a lot of pressure onto this gold mine and this gold mine in tandem. Because this tower here, not going to be that useful. If you get to watchtowers, it sets you back a lot as the Zeus player in this matchup. You sort of don't want to get it if you can help it. So we'll see if he can manage to play around that. Player can go for the Centaur strat in an attempt to sort of strangle Skady a little bit. Sniping Murmillo, sniping Terma, sniping Citizen. Any sort of kills you can get are good. We do see the Oracle Scalp is here, and a villager's moving forward and trying to get this boar right behind the tree line here. It's very, very bad for him. We see he's got 6 villagers over here onto the food. I wouldn't be surprised to see well, I'd be surprised to see player do anything other than Centaur in this map, or with this map. He's going to try and eat this entire boar before he advances. He wants to go 430, but I don't know if I see that happening here with all the walking time. So it might be a 445 or even a 5-minute here. And I do think that probably Skady is going to be just a little bit late on the 430. You can see he's at 200 food already, and probably not going to get up to 400 food in time. If you're ever in these situations as a Oranos, when you're coming up to this 400 food, realizing you're not going to get it, you should take your wood villager off of wood onto food, and then when the temple villager finishes, put that onto food, and you should be able to get up a little bit quicker. And potentially he would have hit the 430 had he done so, but he decided to just go for a little bit of a delayed advance time instead, which is fine. And there's the temple coming up for player. I wouldn't be surprised to see him hit this 430 here. It's going to be a 445, I should say. We should have cancelled that villager, but he didn't. There he goes, and there's the Hermes. And he's going to chuck his villagers over onto favor. Finish up these elk over here. They move back over onto the wood. The wood line here, a little bit unfortunate. Both wood lines very easy for Skady to come in and hit this one and this one. So we should probably see player throw up a wall here. Will be very important for his, let's say, well-being. We see the boar just about to be finished over here, and all of the essential food is basically going to be eaten at this point by the 430 mark. So a bit of a strange ghost lake map here. Lots of reactions to what's going on will be necessary. 5 goat for player to 8 goat for Skady. So it's also relatively low herdables as well, which is a bit strange, because this map normally has a little bit more herdable, so it's just a super low food spawn map. We've got counter barracks, we've got the military barracks, we've got the Promethean getting deleted into the Promethean offspring to make them move faster. That's why they do it. And we see the homers coming through. Instant Sylvan Law. Centaur going to be roaming around, but really nowhere to attack apart from this boar and maybe this location here. One thing I like to do as Greek in this matchup is check where the military barracks is. If you can spot that, then you realize that this is going to be a point where you can attack, depending on where the gather point is going to be for those units, because then the Centaur, once you get 3 of them, they can one-hit those Murmillo, and that's a big amount of damage. 55 food, 30 gold, looking at 85 resources of damage for free every 20 seconds or so. Right, and there's the shockwave. We'll see if Skady can get a villager kill. It looks like he can't. The villagers do manage to get away here with their life intact. 7 HP remaining. Is still an entire villager to be alive there. So nice play from player. And being a shockwave down is actually kind of huge, because that means he can't shockwave the Centaur that are getting built. And as we do see, one Centaur does snipe that Oracle there. And we've got the hero Murmillo and Terma going to chase the Kadoskopos around. More Murmillo coming out. Where's the rest of the heroes? He does have double Terma Murmillo being heroized here. A little bit interesting decision there. We see the ball getting lured in here. Nice play from Skady to be able to make that happen. And then the ball going to get sniped. And Skady should be able to eat that one up here if he wants to eat. No? Hello? All the villagers ran all the way around. I see. Fair enough. So population-wise now, Skady's super far in front. We see the military academy is up. No stable just yet. The Centaur are out. And at this point, the best way to use these Centaur is to be attacking these straggler units here. With only 4.95 speed, the Centaur should be able to hit those. These 2 Centaur over here need to be going and raiding here at this point, and hitting those Murmillo that are piling out. They're just so open for getting sniped. See the Terma flying in onto this location here, and player going to be holding on. He obviously does not have the right amount of units here to deal with this. And he's going to be pushing in and out. We do see the Centaur now moving into Skady's base. There is a citizen over here he can harass, though he can also go for the gold mine over here. The Murmillo going to be chasing in here as well. Maybe going to hit the Centaur just a little bit, but not happening just yet. And there's the Hero Murmillo getting manually converted, and player is just simply going to bolt that one away. Nice play from player to keep the pressure up. Now he's got all these Centaur here. He's got to be using these special abilities if he wants to slow the Oranos down. And he does manage to throw one down there, and ooh, doesn't quite get all the shots off there. So you can see a lot of low HP units that have been hit here by player, but nothing really being killed just yet. 84 population left. This Centaur just roaming around. There's the second Valor out for Skady as he's starting to get quite a few heroes here, which is scary because the heroes, they kill Centaur, and Centaur are the bulk of what's going on. We do see the stable is up now. The villagers onto these barriers. Does he have husbandry? He does have husbandry. He's got hand axe. He's got 11 villagers on wood. So player's got a lot of wood in the bank ready for a farm transition here. You see one of those Murmillo is falling as the Hoplite going to attempt to target or chase down the Terma in the back. I am a little bit surprised to see player going for the Hoplites first. Generally speaking, you want to get out those Centaur, those Hippocon, because I got less food. It's 10 less food, so it's a little bit easier to make them. But obviously, player not going for that, going for those Hoplites, and he is deciding to take this fight here. I'm not sure about this. I think maybe player could have been moving back and forth for just a little bit longer. But Skady happy to take this fight underneath the tower fire, trying to retreat back with those Centaur in an effort to keep this going. We see the Centaur for player coming back now to his home base. 3 villagers on gold at this point for player. Seems to be more than enough as the farms are starting to come out. Do we have plow? No plow just yet for player. He can afford to grab it. We do see a villager getting sniped there by those Terma. Nice play from Skady. Now coming back in, going to keep on going after these villagers. He is able to pretty much one-hit a villager here as he does. Oh, the villager gets into the town center. Nice play there. The towers attempting to pick off these Terma, but the big thing about Oranos is the movement speed bonus makes these towers a little bit less scary because you can run away without taking so much damage. Now the Centaur are getting that idea. They're moving forward. They need to just keep chasing those Mamilo away and getting damage dealt, but he keeps on turning around, trying to deal with the Terma. The Terma a little bit more difficult to deal with. He does have a couple of those Hippocons, so he can run in and start hitting those Terma a little bit better with the 5.5 speed, but it's just not that many of them. So it's a little bit of a risk. We see there's now 7 villagers on the gold here for player, as he's managing this fairly decently. There's the Valor coming through for Skady, the third one. That's going to be, I think Skardy's got all 9 heroes out right now. So it's very difficult. A Shockwave coming in, no ceasefire from player. This is an absolute... That's a definite misplay from player. They definitely should have cast ceasefire. That was 2 Centaur kills for the Shockwave, and that's going to be bringing those Centaur numbers very, very low here. As players also not producing more Centaur at this point. We see the military barracks, or academy I should say, is getting sniped. Now we see the Centaur sniping some more of those Mamilo here in this game, but he's still got so many more units here. 106 population to 69 population, but Skady is deciding to retreat back, potentially now going to think about going to the heroic gauge through Hyperion in order to get some chaoses down and get that damage dealt. But second town center first does sort of make sense. And we see the military academy coming back up for player, who's getting those farms down ever so slowly. He actually had to cancel the Centaur in order to build farms. That was the problem there. Has he got his plow yet? He still doesn't have his plow. He has moved onto this gold mine over here. I would love to see some walls going up over this side to make sure the Terma can't sneak in from one side of the map, getting some damage dealt. And we'll see how this is going to go. And now the Centaur are going to be attacking this location. This is a decent fight here for player. If he can just hit some of these units, but he can't really manage to do it. Let's see. Terma are moving in and going to start sniping some villagers. A lot of those javelins do miss, but the villager does fall after the second volley there, as the Terma are going to be retreating away from these towers as all those arrows are missing. We even see some Toxotes coming into the fray here. It's not what you want to be making this matchup if you can help it, but player definitely struggling on the food front here, whereas you can see Skady not really struggling at all. The villagers having to get pulled off of the food though, come straight over onto the wood. Very easy farm transition. You can just throw his farms down in this location over here. It's going to be pretty much completely safe. And now we see player making a forward movement here with this army. 88 population at this moment to Skady's 112. Normally this push here works for player, but I think that Skady's still got too many units for this to happen. We even see some Prometheans starting to get built by player. The Centaur coming in needs to get those special abilities off, and he does attempt to do so there as he... Oh no, he must have clicked onto a hero there because none of them used their special. And still... there's the town center for player. An interesting try here from player to try and keep up with the town center, grabbing from Skady. We see a couple of hero termas getting made by Skady as the Centaur are going to be retreating away. If we check out the army here, we've got 4 hero Mamilo, 4 hero terma, which may be enough. We see some nice snipes here from both players, picking off a Toxote and a Mamilo, but the Toxotes are all going to fall as these units getting pulled back. Heroes are chasing these Centaur nicely as they're trying to deal with these units. More hero termas getting created by Skady. Nice micro here from player though to run away from the Centaur in the fight here, attempting to dodge all the heroes, but the heroes just going to be chasing these units around while the rest of his units are dealing with the main army. We'll see if player can hold in this location. The town center on this spot is up. These Centaur are now able to fight freely as the heroes starting to get picked off. We see a couple more heroes look like they're getting converted here. Very low HP Terma, and it's looking as if player is able to hold on here. Completely eviscerates that army with a ton of units left. Even though Skady's got the population advantage here, player is in a fantastic position because of those Centaur able to do work. That Centaur micro off the charts good here from player. He's going to be moving around the map, attempting to find something to snipe here. Potentially could snipe this citizen here. It's very precariously placed as the Centaur moving in. If they've got that special ability, 5 Centaur enough to pick off 1 citizen. We do see those villagers are coming through, and he doesn't quite manage to snipe. I think it's 5. I think it's 5 villagers. Anyways, we see the Centaur going to be retreating back. And now the villagers under attack. Murmillo, there's so many of them here. And player going to be retreating back into the town center here. The Terma going after the Toxotes, and the Centaur need to be over here on this location. The town center going to do a ton of damage to help out in this location. Those Toxotes in the back actually starting to be fairly useful here as this is majority Murmillo in this army. And as the Centaur coming back, those Hero Terma chasing them down. More Centaur coming in. Big shockwave hitting 3 of those Centaur there, but none of them do fall, so completely fine for player. Player still has the ceasefire, but he hasn't chosen to use it just yet. And the Terma getting pulled back. The villagers getting pulled off the wood line. Potentially going to jump into the town center. Not just yet. The Hero Terma need to be targeted down by this town center. And there is the ceasefire. And player needs to get some of those units out. He's still only producing... Well, he's really not producing all too much. He's finally getting plow. He's got too much gold. This is a classic mistake as Greek. You cannot ever allow this to happen here when you're playing Zeus, because this 700 gold should be translated into roughly, I want to say about 500, 400 food of farms or a ton more wood in order to get those farms out. And player basically at this position, probably as he has, just take those villages off of gold, sort it out later, get that economy fixed, because the problem that's going to arise here is that Skady is going Hyperion. And player is so astronomically far behind on the tech because he's so far behind on the food. These farms for player do cost, I think they cost less than, what is it? Technically, 75 times 3. You're looking at about 225, is it? 225. And then you add the citizen in for 25 wood and the farms start looking slightly cheaper. And they also don't have to drop off. So that's a big, big advantage for the farms as Atlantean. And now we see the Murmillo and Terma trying to push back in, trying to find someone to attack. There is a really nice gold mine in the back here for player. We see the third town center coming up for Skady now. So Skady obviously looks like he's not going for a fast mythic here. Wants to maybe throw up a palace, get some of those destroyers going, some of those destroyer Arcus balls that are so brutal, and maybe make a push onto this town center. Not a bad try, and that probably makes sense considering how low the food is. Now we see these units over here about to get chaos. It looks like that's going to hit off one of the Centaur and 4 of those human units as well. Absolutely huge use of the god power, and he does come in. He does lose a Murmillo for it, but the Terma do die, and those other hero units, also chaos units, will fall as well. It looks like it's only three human units on Brazlian. I think that's a 5.0 change to nerf Hyperion slightly. Now we do see the Terma coming in, sniping some more units. The Centaur are falling here. Murmillo pushing through, going to start to take down some of those Hippocons. The Satyr need to use that unit there to help take out those Centaur in the back. Now the Terma going after the Centaur as well. Going to try and get some hits onto them. But they're not really able to. A couple of idle Murmillo in this fight. A little bit strange to see that one there. We'll see if he's going to go after the Jason. He does not go after the Jason. We don't see a palace just yet for Skady, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him just throw the palace down right here as an attempt. There are relics on the map. We do have the Pandora's box. Did he pick up the other relic? No. I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. Right in front of me. Boom. We've also got the Osberg wagon, so that one's a decent one. We just see the palace going up here. Not as good as this location, but maybe Skady doesn't feel like he can quite hold that location, this palace, a little bit more safe, and will allow him to get the get those destroyers to come out. Now the Terma coming in are going to hit a little bit of a raid, but the walls back up. These Terma are essentially just fodder for the Greek player here. That made no sense, but it is true. Skady just throwing those units away, and Hecate is coming in. So huge power spike for Skady coming here. He's going to be able to cast a Tartarian Gate on this side. You can see he's already got the units ready to move in. Cast a Tartarian Gate on this side, make a big push in here with those destroyers. He's going to get out the Lampedia as well. and that's going to hurt a lot. Now we see that the the centaur are going to be looking for another raid over here. Skady probably going to be able to deal with it, though, if we're completely honest. He is such a strong player at reacting to these raids. We'll see if it's going to happen. He did give it completely away as the centaur coming in onto this location. And no, Skady doesn't react. He does lose one citizen here. Another citizen going to fall as well, as Skady, not paying attention at all, does cast the Tartarian Gate down. That's going to clean up a lot of those farms. And more of the villagers are falling. This is absolutely huge for player. But the problem for player right now is the Tartarian Gate. How does he pick this off and survive on this side of the map? We're going to see him losing this town center almost immediately as the heavy destroyers coming in with the help of those Murmillo as well. But all the units coming in over here going to deal with the Tartarian Gate. Maybe player can come back over and help defend this one, but after he cleans this up, the heroes should be able to pick off those Tartarian spawns fairly quickly. We just see the Lampede here as well. Looking to get some damage inflicted. The Tartarian Gate does get picked off. There is a Jason, there is an Odysseus here to clean up all these Tartarian spawns. However, the town center of player is looking like it is about to fall at this point here, which is huge because that's going to be it's going to be a lot of population loss there for player, but player has got a lot of economic damage done to Skady here. 25 being the max villager count plus those 3 hero citizens. So he was up to 28 villagers there, and he's dropped down to 22. So that was 6 citizen kills there, probably, maybe a little bit less, but probably 6 citizen kills that player got in that point of the game. But it looks as if player realizes how far behind he is here. He's at 115 population. He's going to be dealing with heavy units, and he's just not able to get a gold mine. He loses the town center. The Tartarian Gate timing from player with this palace set up in this location too good. We're also going to see him start transitioning into fanatics, which are going to be really tough for the Greek player to deal with without any Hapaspist. And honestly, Skady just played this one incredibly well here. Though you do have to ask the question always, why was player sitting back with those centaur? He's got the movement speed advantage with the centaur. You have to get active with them, and if you can't control them at that level, you probably shouldn't be doing centaur play. And I'm saying this as someone who... I look at this game as if, imagine if this game was StarCraft 1. Imagine if it was these players that played StarCraft 1 had the most insane APM, the most insane control of their units. Imagine if they were controlling these centaur, could come in, snipe your Murmillo, pull back, have perfect macro, all of that good stuff. And I think this game could have been in players' hands had he just sniped a couple of Murmillo in the early stages of the game instead of just sitting back and allowing Skady to kind of do whatever he wants. But it didn't happen here, and player going down. So far, 0-2. Skady with 2 wins here in this series already on match point. We'll see if player can make the reverse sweep happen or not. We're on to game number 3 very shortly. If you are enjoying these games, please consider hitting the follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.